Hello everybody, and this is Chaos with Chaos Esports Productions, bringing you another viewer cast. We're going to be looking at another replay submitted by Fllipz, and I gotta say this one goes a heck of a lot better. A lot of the things that I mentioned in the last video for him, some of them still apply, some of them don't apply. Overall, definitely a lot better execution of his build. He actually managed to do a lot of awesome stuff. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it. Now, it is also another longer video, longer replay, so I'm going to try and speed through this pretty quickly and give just the highlights as far as what needs to happen and things that I think he can work on. So, so far, build looking great, getting up second gas, going through, continually building probes this time, good. Getting out of Zealot, doing all this fun stuff. Still delaying the warp gate research, which is a little odd in my opinion. I'm not sure why it's delayed so much, but if it works for you, it works for you. I think that would let your DT timing hit a little bit faster, in my opinion. Getting up your trio, got your Dark Shrine in the way. You actually come in here, you scout a little bit. I did not pick the right unit, so as of right now you really haven't seen a whole lot. Don't know if he's got gas, but you don't care. Just doing your build as is. Now you are getting up a forge relatively early, which is good, which means you can start getting your upgrades. You got DTs, so I'm going to pause for a sec, slow it down, and then get it back into this. Now, send your DTs into the main again. Once again, I really think one in each would probably be more optimal. Forces him to have to multitask, split up where he's looking. So you do your little dance and actually manage to get out of here just in the nick of time, and actually manage to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Lots more kills. 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, like 10 to 12. Doing good. As far as units back at home, you're just kind of chilling, starting to expand, doing all that stuff. But we look at the units last tab, and we are very happy because we've killed 24 units. A lot of them being SCVs, as we can see. He doesn't really have anything going on in the main. So yeah, we're definitely in a lot better position than we were in the last game. You're getting your upgrades up, you're starting to get your observer, you're expanding, doing all the right things. One thing that I would like to see though is you immediately start Immortal production, and I think Immortal production usually starts after at least two observers. Because I like having at least one observer kind of out on the mount scouting and one with my army. Just as a safe precaution. Widow mines, tend to be a favored unit that Terran players like to play with. So, you set your observer over here, it got shot, yet you never rebuild it. This is going to pose to be a problem later on. We're going to speed through this because you don't want your Dark Shrine to die. Come over here, clean that up. Now, you come in here and poke a little bit, and you can't really poke as a function of, he's got a Widow Mine here, or at least you should have an idea that he's got a Widow Mine here, and on top of that, you don't have an observer with you. So, hence my comment of making at least 2 observers before you make your first Immortal. That way, you have the flexibility to have that detection. So, going to be getting up your Colossus, getting up another Robo, which is okay. Personally, on 2-base, double Robo production is hard to sustain with building gateway units at the same time and upgrades. So definitely a little bit pressured there. So you're going to come in here with a drop. Nothing really gets accomplished. Units lost is still pretty much in your favor for the most part. So yeah, so you're going to be moving across the map finally. These wonderful medevacs are going to go home. Sad because they didn't do their job. You have stopped probe production, which I don't agree with completely. You're not out of the gate yet. So you come in here, you get a lot of damage done. Actually, you did have an observer with your army. Okay, so unfortunately for you, the observer got taken immediately out by the missile turrets, and you didn't kill the widow mines. So, unable to pressure. Sad face. But yeah, I think overall this is executed fairly well. I mean, you're backing off, you're building your third. I think these are all really good decisions. Starting to get your production more up. Yeah, the only thing that I see problem with the way that you play right now is your lack of probe production. Because if you continuously build probes throughout the entire game, or at least until you've saturated your third, by the time your third is done, you really won't have to build many probes because you'll be able to pull a handful from the main, a handful from your natural, and you'll immediately be able to saturate your third, which means your monies goes through the roof, and all of the production that you build while you're waiting for your third to come up can immediately be used. So it gives you that option to, get things steamrolling in your direction. So this probe is a pretty boss probe. Chilled out over here for a little bit, and then said, "I think Marines are coming their way." So he comes in and then just dies to the Marine medevac Marauder ball. So you're going to be pushing out now. This army composition, the only problem that I really have with it right now is the lack of zealots. I mean, you've only got 4 zealots, and you do have charge, so you're looking pretty good as far as like where you're at with your upgrades, and that's definitely looking a lot better this time. There we go, some zealots. Now you push in here Stalker first. One thing that I like to do before I go into any battle, whether I'm just going to A-move into an area, and like my army is clumped up like this, I'll double-click on the zealots and pull them forward. So that way they're the first things that enter the fray, and they can soak up a lot of the damage that you get from these tanks and the marauders and stuff. Because if you send the stalkers into a handful of marauders and a tank, they're going to take most of the damage, and they're kind of your DPS. So you come in here, nice storm because he just sits and takes it. You take out his third because you're awesome. Another double storm. Now, one thing I do want to mention is storms do not stack, which means if you do 2 storms consecutively in the same area, it will only do the effective amount of damage as 1 storm. So try and be a little bit more cautious with that, and if you're going to do 2 in a close area, try to offset them just a little bit so that way you optimize the amount of effective damage you do. So you overextend a little bit, your Colossus get taken out, and one thing that I would have recommended is with these High Templar, just feedback. You can feedback a handful of these medevacs, and they become less of a... Basically, by destroying medevacs, you force your Terran opponent to continue making medevacs as opposed to Vikings, which he's going to be more so inclined to do since you've got Colossus out. So, taking a couple pot shots from this tank. That High Templar is so thanking you for not letting him die. So you're going to take some probes from your natural. Now, like I said, had you continued building probes throughout this, you would still have a saturated natural, and your main would still be mined out. But, yeah, nonetheless, you could start to think about taking a fourth. Still need to work on getting your upgrades up. Be more consistent with that. One thing that I like to do is once my +3 upgrade is done, if I feel like I'm a little bit behind in upgrades, I'll go ahead and throw down the extra forge and go armor and shield at the same time. That way you just get all your upgrades, you'll have them all completed at around the same time, as opposed to having to wait for all of the armors and then all of the shields. So I'm going to speed it up, get things moving again, getting your Colossus out, you're just now starting Thermal Lance. That's kind of interesting. I guess I didn't that's probably why all the Colossus got taken out earlier, is because since you didn't have the upgrade, you had to move in a little bit closer, and those Vikings got to more or less shoot you in the face. So finally got some of the server out. He comes and pushes. Now, you get a really good engagement there, because he chooses to... Since you have these cannons up, and he chooses to fight right here. Gives you a really nice easy storm, so you're looking fine. Come in here, kill a couple units. Not the best engagements, because you are letting him have free tank shots, which tanks are super awesome in large quantities. But you come in here, you do a lot of overextending. You come in here, you say, yeah, I'm going to kill your army, but you kind of overestimate how effective his Vikings are, as well as where his upgrade... Well, I guess his upgrades are pretty far behind. But you overestimate how much... I mean, he's very Marauder heavy, and you're very Stalker heavy. So your Stalkers are going to go down the tube real quick, and then your Colossus are not really going to have any support, so therefore they're going to die very quickly as well. So definitely need to watch your overextensions. And another comment is he's got Widow Mines chilling out around here. And you don't have an Observer, which means they take free shots at you, and it's kind of sad. So yeah, I could be getting up more cannons, just playing defensive at this point. Lots of probes, just chilling out. Definitely need to keep an eye on those type of things. Still got double Colossus production, good. Keeping up your higher tech units, I think, is one of the things that you do very, very well. I know I had a lot of trouble when I was in the Silver and Gold League. You know, I would fall back on all gateway units, and then just to get absolutely annihilated. So kudos to you. So yeah, you're gonna be getting up your 4th. He does scout with this fun little SCV. You're gonna take a few free shots, but overall the engagement is taken pretty well. You didn't lose any key units, and this is where the drops start happening. Now this is kind of where the Mothership Core would be really helpful. Having the Mothership Core in your army comp is probably something that you should keep in the back of your mind, because by having that Mothership Core, you can immediately warp back to your Nexus, take out this drop, and then just go stomp on him. I mean, he can't really do anything about it after that, and, you know, that's all you really need to worry about. So just one small tweak that you can make to your army comp that'll alleviate a lot of the damage that these type of drops will have on you. But yeah, I think overall your unit composition's doing pretty good. Taking some more pot shots from those Widow Mines, and I'm pretty sure you just kind of come in here and stomp him, and he calls it quits because he's had enough fun. So yeah, I think you did a lot better in this game. Like I said, the biggest pet peeve that I have is your worker production. Get that up, and I think things will go a lot smoother. You'll be able to get your 3rd up, get it saturated, get that production going, and then you'll start taking your 4th a lot quicker. Yeah, you'll be about halfway mined out of your main once your 3rd is complete, so technically speaking you should be able to send half of your probes down to your 3rd, and things should be good. But by having those extra probes, usually 60 probes is kind of optimal. So you're just a little bit shy, but I think overall, like I said, I think you did a very good job. Definitely better execution than the last game. Your army composition overall was stellar. I didn't really have too much problems with it. Just definitely needs to work on a little bit of the engagements, but those things will come in time. You'll start to get a better sense of what positioning you need to have, as well as you know, what army compositions are good against, you know, the opposing army composition. So I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to leave any comments down below. It's been great watching these replays. I've seen some pretty interesting stuff. DT builds are still fairly effective at times, so good job. Like I said, yeah, if you have any comments, feel free to leave them below. Feel free to, if you're not Fllipz and would like to leave a comment as well, I would be more than happy to respond to your comments. Also, if you'd like me to take a look at one of your replays, feel free to send a replay to the email in the description. I will be happy to take a look at that, get you some pointers, and go from there. So, I hope you all enjoyed. Feel free to check out some of my other comments or content. Feel free to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next game.